One of the great stories of Dallas that's untold is the leadership of women in this city. And Mrs. McDermott and Mrs. Perot are two of the great examples of that. They have thought about Dallas as their backyard town, but yet we were on a world stage and they wanted to do it that way. And their generosity is remarkable and is a great example for all of us.
Congratulations, Margot. We've had a lot of fun while we were hopefully doing a lot of good, and we both love the United Way and are so honored to be here together today.
My mother is a fabulous mother. She's an amazing grandmother, and she's passing on all of this, her philanthropic spirit, to her children and to her grandchildren. And so you'll have generations of Perots who've been raised in a loving family and a giving family who will continue to make their mark around our community and around our country.
She's been involved in so many things, between the Presbyterian Hospital, the Salvation Army, the United Way, the museum. So many ways they have helped this community. And hey, isn't it fun to have Dallas win in so many ways? And the Perots have been a big part of it.
She's been an incredible supporter, both in rolling up her sleeves and working hard and giving so generously to our work. Really, Margot is synonymous with the Salvation Army.
She explained it to us that once she had one meeting under her belt, she just was hooked. And so she has been a wonderful supporter since many years now, and we're very thankful for that.
I'm certainly honored to be recognized by the United Way, especially alongside Margaret McDermott, as this year's Decades of Distinction Award recipient. Our family has been a longtime supporter of this great organization. My personal involvement began when Ross and I received a handwritten letter from Ruth Altshuler asking us to make an extra special contribution that year. It was in the mid-'80s, and it was an especially difficult time in Dallas, and that year the contributions were down. Well, those of us who responded to Ruth and who could not became the first members of the Tocqueville Society, which of course was part of her plan. The next year, I found myself the chairman, and Ross and I hosted the first Tocqueville Society dinner. We've been members ever since. Ruth once said to me, "You know, people have to be taught to give." Well, she's certainly taught all of us not only to give financially, but to contribute time and effort and leadership. Margaret McDermott also, of course, has set the standard for generosity and innovative giving throughout Dallas. So many institutions in Dallas thrive today because of her wisdom and support. The United Way also inspires me. In a city the size of Dallas, with the multitude of problems that are so complex today, and there are so many needs, it takes an organization to recognize the needs and the agencies that are most effective in dealing with them. Jennifer Sampson and her staff have done a beautiful job of raising awareness of needs and finding solutions, as well as raising financial support. We're so grateful for your leadership, Jennifer, and we're grateful for the United Way that affects so many lives in Dallas year after year. Thank you very much for this honor.
The McDermott and Perot names are synonymous with selfless community advocacy, a tireless support for the betterment of humanity, and a deep and abiding love for the city.
Well, first, Mom, I want to say congratulations. At 105, you more than deserve this award, and I think you are incredibly fortunate to be sharing it with Margot Perot.
If you were going to try to make this award really prestigious, you'd begin by only giving it to legends, and so far, so good. If you were going to make it really extraordinary, you'd consider giving it to two legends at the same time. I cannot imagine two more perfect recipients than Margot Perot and Margaret McDermott.
When you go out with Margaret for lunch, and I call it lunch with a purpose, There's always an element of how we could make the community better or what's been done to make the community better. It's about getting out in the community, talking to people that have made a difference.
Of course, as Ms. McDermott would say, it's Texas Instruments who's made possible all of her philanthropy. She's proud of that great corporation, and it's been its success that has enabled her to do the wonderful things she's done for UT Dallas and for the rest of Dallas.
She sets a vision and an expectation of such high quality. She has sort of opened a door in people's minds to say, well, what could we do? Could we aim bigger? Could we achieve more? That is a beautiful alchemy that somehow she inspires in others.
I have nothing but to say thank you, Margaret, because you've been transcendental for this institution, for everyone in Dallas and North Texas. They're interested in education, in health, in the arts, has impacted thousands of lives.
When asked to talk about United Way, I was pleased. Thank you very much for this privilege. I was pleased because of my credentials, 105 years. And I lived and knew people that wanted to make a difference 105 years ago. Now talking about Dallas, then, may I say, these people that I knew then who started the United Way and worked on the United Way and helped work for Dallas, I was so pleased with them and proud of them, and I talked about them with pride. But I can talk now about United States after today and the pleasure I've had. I can talk about with confidence about the future, and I can say the way to go, United Way, is to remember all people. Way to go, United Way.